Recording in progress.
That's a new thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hi. Welcome, Miles. Great to
Hi,
see
Andrew.
you. Everybody, on this TGS Live, we have a special guest, which is Miles Duncan. Miles Duncan, we met maybe 3 or 4 years ago now, I can't remember, in London when we were in a Mind Shop advisory session. And Miles was talking about how to be better on LinkedIn, and he has a company called LinkedIn Success Systems. If I'm not wrong, I can make these mistakes, and he does fantastic LinkedIn training. And if you've seen any of our materials on LinkedIn, a lot of the good things about that come from Miles, and the bad things come from us. So he's he's helping us improve. Although we have, that Justine and
Great.
I, we have a 1% each time improvement strategy. So we look at what we do, and we think, how can that be 1% better, or was it 1% better? So eventually, we get a lot better. But Miles, maybe you'd like to introduce yourself, so I don't make a pig's dinner of it.
No, no, it's fine. No, so yeah, you're absolutely right, Andrew. We met about, yeah, it would be about 3 or 4 years ago. A sizable firm in the UK introduced us, and I was doing a keynote speech at one of
Mm,
the events that you attended in London. So that's kind of how we got together. And then, as you know, I came over to Paris. I work in Paris anyway. You know, I train the French military. What people don't know is the two-star generals and above that leave the French military. I train them, a specialist training on LinkedIn. And you're absolutely right. It's been great to see the improvement of TGS over the years, the 1% gains, the small gains. And right now you look very different to what I found maybe three
thank
or
you.
4 years ago.
No, it's just
So you are improving, plenty of room for improvement.
yeah,
And
great.
so as I've visited your conferences over the years, and I've been helping particularly professional services help them improve their brand positioning as a go-to trusted advisor on LinkedIn over the last 15 years. I've trained quite a few people and seen phenomenal results. So
Mm,
really, I think essentially, if I was to distill the training that I kind of help TGS with into essentially three things.
mm,
One is taking a good look at your personal profiles, your brand positioning, and your company positioning. I think even before the pandemic, as you know, Andrew, we were talking about this. LinkedIn is a marketplace of expertise and resources. People visit LinkedIn to find expertise and resources. So, for everyone watching this and who I will be contacting, is that your personal persona, your personal brand needs to look really good. You don't get a second chance to make a really good first impression. Big mistakes is people talk about their CV and job description when really the best way to convey your products and services is through the needs and wants of your audience and wrap it around them. So all the companies that make up a TGS Global, your personal profiles and your company pages should really be pointed at the target audience. So that's number one. And that the sort of two other bits of the training is to really get the right balance between, I'm going to use some words that might be new to professional services, but what's called inbound activity and outbound activity. So these two words. So what I mean by that, inbound activity is things that, and you're doing an excellent job of it, Andrew at TJ. I do love what you're doing. You're doing a lot of what I call inbound activity. You're becoming a magnet, a trusted advisor. You're beginning to own the space. You're becoming to build your visibility. So all those insights, webinars that you're putting out, live things that you're putting out, that is kind of like magnetism. It's drawing people towards the company, making people more curious, more interested. So, it'd be great to see not just TGS Global at sort of the head office, but all the regional
yeah,
firms
yeah.
do a lot more of that. And as you know, it's super easy to do.
Mm,
And on the other side of that is what I call outbound activity, which is where you're more proactive. You're growing relationships, or you're keeping relationships with your clients for retention. I would imagine a lot of firms have a lot of clients, but with the day job, they kind of lose communication with some of the ones
yeah,
on the edge a little
yeah.
bit, the auditing on a yearly basis or whatever. Outward bound activity is not only just retaining and client retention and lifetime value, but also increasing your market opportunity as well. So outbound activity, I tend to use the word leaning in to LinkedIn, because it's going to sound strange, but you don't sell on LinkedIn. You nurture and grow relationships, which clearly you are doing really, really well. But if we use the word, you're leaning in terms of you're slowly leaning in, you're beginning to open up networks, talk to your clients. So essentially, the training boils down to that. Get your brand right, brand positioning at individual level and at company level, then get the right balance between inbound and outbound activities.
I think that's great. I mean, Miles, you're such a professional at this. I had three key questions there, and you've gone through them all without me asking them, which is fantastic. I mean, yeah, why is LinkedIn important? And it is important for nurturing relationships, and as you say, it's about relationships. And I think what we were trying to do with you and are still trying to do is we understand that the first point is we're personal. We've got to look, you know, on point and super professional personally, and then the brand follows from that, and then the company is all linked, and we can really benefit from a network effect because we're a network. So if all our TGS members have the same sort of look and feel and experience, then we're just so much bigger. I think it's one thing to post up some insight on your own, but if you're posting it with a network behind you, you've got a lot more reach.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the opportunity that lies in front of you, that clearly you're beginning to connect, is that you have a global footprint that connects everyone. And I'd be very honest with all your companies. I know a lot of the members. You still got a little bit of a way to go on that
Mm.
one,
Yeah,
but there has been great progress, and
yeah,
particularly you've got some strong companies that really understand that
yeah,
the it's kind of like a soccer team coming out the tunnel. If you at least wear a strip or
yeah,
a similar strip,
yeah,
then we do appreciate you. You look great coming out.
yeah,
Thousands of
yeah,
people globally
yeah.
watch you. But when you actually play on the pitch, you have a regional
Mm.
brand as well, and that's
Yeah,
important to have the connectivity at TGS Global, but also the regional brand. But if you have the right connectivity,
yeah,
you are stronger as a one big number, if you
yeah.
like.
S-
Then
So,
it's actually rolling out the activity on the
yeah,
ground. So,
yeah,
as you know, I was down in Johannesburg with Fabi and Cape Town, and it's really interesting
mm,
to work with Fabrizio and his company in terms of doing that, because obviously, they want the connectivity with TGS Global, the referrals, the
yeah,
links,
yeah,
to push business out, to bring business in,
mm,
but they also want to grow the business on a regional level, and
yeah.
that's really what I understand, and that's what I deliver.
I mean, we get a lot of that. It's really surprising in a sense that, in terms of referral business, the kind of connections that we make on LinkedIn are really powerful. And it just gets to the stage when if someone doesn't exist seriously on LinkedIn, they don't really exist
Right.
internationally because it's the kind of first place we look for people. But if you were saying in terms of our member firms, what would you say would be the main thing that they're doing wrong at the moment?
I think really, unfortunately, at the very beginning, whilst we talk about inbound and outbound, being a magnet and
Yeah,
leaning into LinkedIn, I think the one thing that is actually a quick fix, an easy fix, is their personal profiles and
mm,
their company
mm-hmm,
pages,
mm-hmm,
because you're absolutely right, Andrew. As people join the network, and as I've sat in enough conferences, and one of the topics is
yeah,
trying to get referrals and leads generated from each
yeah,
other, passing
yeah,
business from one to another, and
mm,
that's the sustainability of
yeah,
the company, the ethos, the mission
yeah,
that Mark talks a lot about.
mm,
But unfortunately, being a digital product, it's lovely to go to conferences, because if you don't make a first good impression, you can recover it a little bit.
yeah, mm,
Get someone's name wrong or something like that.
yeah,
But digitally, you have absolutely no second
mm,
chance. So
mm,
personal profiles and company pages,
yeah,
and that's what I'd like to sort out
yeah,
first with all your members. I don't want to do them obviously all at once, but as we
yeah,
talked about, maybe if we to do small groups at a
yeah,
time,
yeah. I think,
get that sorted. It's so
yeah,
easy to sort, and it actually is a huge win and a
mm,
huge opportunity within
yeah.
a very small space of time.
That's what we like, the idea of small things that can make a big difference. But
Absolutely.
the reason we're having this conversation just now is partly because We have you at our conferences quite regularly, and
You
it's
do?
always inspirational. So we go away thinking, "Yay, let's personal profile, company brand." Yes, I understand what I understand what Miles says. This is great,
Yeah,
and then we go away, and normal life gets in the
exactly.
way.
Yeah.
So, and then we forget and, start talking about ourselves, and it's no value to the clients.
Mhm.
We're not consistent. So you've got a new program, I think, that we're going to share
Yeah.
among the members. Could you talk about that? What's
Yeah,
the
I've got a
thinking behind?
so over the last 15 years, to help your member companies is an existing program that I've been running for the last couple of years that is very strong and very effective and not time sensitive and
Sure.
time heavy.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do with the member companies, and again, not all of one, but ones that we select, Andrews, as we talked about, maybe a small cohort of 10 a
Yeah.
month or
Yeah.
something like that, is I have a 13-week program, and as you know, you've got the PDF, and the 13-week program really works. So we're not talking about sending the most senior person on it, but send the most proactive champions on it.
Yeah.
The ones that do it, because once people see the change in the business, usually that
Yeah.
magnetizes other people in an organization. So it's 13 weeks. The commitment is only 1 hour a week, and it's live with me on Zoom. Everything's recorded, and because it's 13 weeks, we get the first 3 weeks. The learnings are all about the profile and the company pages. Then the learnings move into, if you like, from week 5 to week
Yeah.
about 7 or 8 is about prospecting, client retention, visibility, getting the confidence
Mm,
installed in the business,
mm,
and those kind of things. So you're only looking to send maybe 1 or 2 people into it.
mm.
Uh, Pull the learnings into the company. You work with Miles personally, with me as a group, and then you can get the learnings into the business. Then you get access to the e-learning platform, which is, has got over 50 videos, and
Yeah.
all the sessions are recorded. So even if some member companies can't make it one week, it's all recorded. I did sessions yesterday. It gets recorded and uploaded to your e-learning
Hmm.
platform. So you can't lose anything. You can't miss anything.
But that's great. Yeah.
Even if you use time as I can't
Yeah.
do it, Miles, I
Yeah.
don't have time this week, doesn't matter. It's all recorded.
Exactly. That's
Uh,
brilliant. I love the
and
idea of 1 hour a week as well.
yeah,
It's really good. And just as we're talking, I say this just to remind myself, but summer's coming here for
yeah,
us in us, well, this side of the world. So I
yeah,
think the first recommendations I'll give you, I'll introduce people from the other side of the world who are
perfect.
more likely to be there. And then when we get back after the summer, we can see the success that they've had with the
Yes.
improvement. That's probably a good way.
Yes, and I do put when obviously I've got a high uptake, then I do just start another 13-week program,
Okay.
but I try and choose our specific, so it could be very early in the
Mm,
UK time or very late in the UK time,
okay.
so that we can grab early risers in the east and early late sleepers in the west, essentially.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's brilliant, Andrew. Thank you for having me today
No problem.
to talk about it. But I think what we're keen to do is maybe pre-select a few people,
Yeah.
and I'll personally get, well, they'll probably all know me, and I'll follow that up, and hopefully position them and get them on board at either the June or the July dates.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks, Miles. So you heard it, TGS Live. Your next step is uh, you're going to be introduced to Miles again with a point, with a reason for getting yourself sorted out, personal profile, the brand, the company page, and I think that's. I'm going to let you get on with your day, Miles. Thank you very,
Okay,
very
thank
much
you,
for
Andrew.
coming. But I have one last question for you because I know you can answer these questions really well. If you've got one piece of advice for someone to get 1% better on LinkedIn today, what should they do?
Well, one piece of advice is sort out the personal profile, but at the very top of the profile, don't think about the bit, but the headshot, the background image, and the headline, which
Mm,
is just below the photo, is 220 characters. People just put partner or executive. They don't realize that if they have searchable keywords in there, they would actually begin to position themselves for searches on LinkedIn. And when people look at the profile, at least the first impression is a really good headshot, background banner that ties in with TGS Global, and a headline that communicates the value that the organization can deliver. Not talking about themselves, the benefits of working with that firm.
That's excellent. Thanks, Miles. So you got me thinking. I'm gonna have to relook at mine as well, and see, because I think it's like 3 years old, which is the time
Yeah,
moves so fast. You know, things change.
well,
Anyway, thank you very, very much again for taking the time to come and speak to us, and
okay,
we'll be in touch real soon.
great. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye now.